Good afternoon. Welcome to Working Horses with Jim. I'm Brenda, and today I'm very excited because we are plowing our garden today. It doesn't look like we're plowing right now. That's because Jim is just taking Ken and Baron around the garden to show them what's going on. This is Baron's first time ever plowing. So he's just kind of showing them the ropes, doing a dry run around the garden. And when he comes around again, he's going to sink the plow into the ground and we'll see how it goes. He's going to go around and around today. And there will be a dead furrow in the middle, but not a bad one, he said. So that's exciting. If you're new to the channel, this is Jim's white horse plow. It's a two-way plow, but today he's only going to be plowing with one of the plows. Well, that's the point of a two-way plow, right? You can plow whichever side you want. Yeah, there's Baron's very first time ever sinking with pulling a plow. It's kind of tight quarters here, so there's going to be a lot of turning. Jim has the ability to plow different depths. I don't think he's going too deep for this first time, and really we don't need it so much. There's two brothers having fun in the sun. We have showed plowing the garden, I think, 2 years now. But it's always exciting for me to see the garden plowed up. So Ken is in the furrow both ways. How do you think they're doing?
They seem to be doing great so far. Ken is actually generally, when I plow with 3 horses, and he's always the center horse, so he doesn't walk in the furrow that much. So it's taken a few trips here to even get him to realize that he's got to walk in the furrow, which he can do easy enough. It's not a problem. So we'll see how it continues going.
Hey girls, get out of the way. These chickens have been my gardening buddies so much. As soon as I put a shovel in the dirt, they're with me. Small turns like this, Jim tells me, tend to get the horses more nervous and worked up. And of course these are getting smaller and smaller turns, but so far they really seem to be doing very well. Baron does seem to be getting a little bit nerved up. We are expecting the temperatures to cool down a little bit next week. We're expecting rain, but we have this little window of opportunity since Jim got his oats in to get out here and get this at least plowed up so that after the rains we can get going on it. It's still a little bit moist, and so it'll take a little bit of drying after the rain to really get it to get planted, but I'm so happy I have my raised beds. I have some blueberries in here, which I'm not sure that they really wintered over that good. This one did, but there's a couple more. I know that the soil might not be real great for them. I did amend the soil to make it more acidic, but still I don't know if it's quite right yet. Jim ran into the end of our raised bed that we made last year with a skid steer, so that needs to be repaired. And I am going to put some crops in here, and I kind of worked this ground, and I was really pleased with how this was very hard. It was almost straight manure, and then I put some composted silage with it last year, and it's really become very nice soil. I'm gonna get some leafy greens going in here, and some early onions and some carrots and some of those early crops going. I'll probably do that today.
Hey.
Also, I have flower beds here, and I hesitate to show them to you because they need a lot of work, but that's one of my goals for this spring, is to get these plants divided up a little bit more, and maybe even I worked over here, and I'm making it year by year, creeping the boundaries in and cutting plants up a little bit so that I have less to take care of. My goal is to keep things better taken care of this year. These are strawberries that we started last year, and they really have done good, but I honestly should have got rid of some of the runners last year. It makes bigger, nicer plants if you do that. But they do seem to be thriving and coming along good. I hope I get a good crop of strawberries. I'll keep you informed as we get closer. My hope is that I can keep the chickens out of roaming. I know that they cause a lot of scratching issues and so on, but the fun and the great eggs that I get out of letting them roam free might be worth the scratching and all that stuff that happens. I hope they don't get run over right now. Guys, get out of the way. I've been setting on my alarm at night to make sure I close the door at night so that they're locked into their pen. And they've been very good about laying their eggs where they're supposed to. Been getting 3 or 4 eggs a day. We're going to take you in the barn and show you a visitor we have. It's not our horse, but it's somebody that's come to visit us, and we'll tell you what that's all about in just a little bit.
Oh.
Wow. Seems like every year we still unearth some fairly good-sized rocks in here, and tons of little ones. I've used rocks a lot that we've gotten in the garden for edging of flower beds, but it does not, the grass grows in. And then you got a weed eat and all that, but it still grows into the bed. Like down here I haven't done anything, and you can see what happens. Does anybody have suggestions of how I could make it a more, keep it a clean line and not have to keep digging the grass out all the time? I would appreciate your suggestions. I know there's a lot of different things you can buy, but I just would like to know what works for you guys. Jim's got a lumber customer. He's going to take care of that. That'll give those guys a little break. You guys in heaven here? There's just worms everywhere. They're so happy. The night crawlers gross me out, but they gobble up the little worms all the time. They eat the night crawlers too. It just takes them a little more. So these guys are kind of standing over here in the shade, getting a little break. Barry, what do you think about your big week of work? You've done a lot of different work this week. First time harrowing, first time plowing. Seems like there was some other firsts too. You've met every challenge. Kenny, you're doing very well with him. Very well indeed. You're a good, good boy. Okay, we're back to work after a short break with a lumber buyer. As you can see, the dust is flying, but that's from the ashes, once again, that we put on the garden. Hi, Normie.
Te careful. Te careful. Te. G. G over there. G. 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 Up. G. G. Up. Back. Up. G. G over there. G. G. Careful. G. 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 Careful. Yep, G. Taylor. G. 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 Oh. Bye-bye. Bye. Yep, now G. 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 Careful. G. G. G over there. G. 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 Oh. How about? Back up here. Back up here. Yep. Now G. 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 G over there. G. 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 G over there. G. 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 Oh. I'm back. Yep. G. 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 Careful. Oh. I was hoping to be able to talk while I worked here, but I just can't quite do it. I need to really concentrate on plowing when I'm plowing with Baron, being a young horse, being his first time. He's doing really, really good. But I just wanted to share even, maybe you've noticed this, maybe you haven't, but down at this end of at the garden, we've turned around really, really well. At the other end of the garden, he hesitates a little bit more. He's a little bit, doesn't want to turn quite so well. And I'm sure it's because he'd just as soon go to the barn because the barn's straight ahead type of thing. But also with a young horse, you got to be careful because when you start turning really sharp like this, over and over and over again with a plow like this, they can get kind of sour. So you gotta be very careful not to overdo it. And like right now, I decided to stop. I'm gonna stop, give them another little break, and then we'll go back at it again. That continuous motion and continuous really, really hard turning like that can really wear on them, a young horse, after not too long of a period of time too. So that's one thing we're dealing with. Even though he's turning, I'd call excellent for a 3-year-old, I have to be careful not to overdo it. So Brenda thought I should explain a few things about my plow. This is a white horse plow. White horse two-way plow. So as you can see, there's 2 plows on here, one going one way, one going the other way. The purpose of this plow is to actually use both plows. So you're going up one side and come right down the same furrow. So you just have one furrow going on this whole piece or this whole field if it's a field. The purpose of that is so you don't end up with a dead furrow. Now, the way I'm plowing, I am going to end up with a dead furrow in the center, meaning a type of like a furrow down the center. This garden is kind of crowned in the center, and so it's actually a perfect time to do this type of plowing with just using one plow. But the main reason why I'm just using one plow is because this is Barron's first time plowing, and I didn't want him to have to, when you're running this plow and using both plows, the turning that has to occur is like the way it is right now when we're getting to the center here. It's really, really tight sidestep and turns. And he could do that all right, but it's just, like I said earlier, a young horse can get sour on that turning if you overdo it. So that's why I decided to plow this way. It's just so much easier on him to just go round and round. And the only hard part is this last little bit in the center where he has to really turn sharp. That's why I go quite a ways beyond my garden and make a bigger loop to get turned around. So it has two plows, and I have a lever here that drops the plow up and down, and then I have a foot lever right here that when I get to the end of the furrow, I actually can push this and push this at the same time to bring the plow up. So it's quite easy to do. If I just go off my foot pedal right here, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. As you can see, there's no tread on these wheels. It might even be good if they had some little more tread here. But sometimes if you just use the foot pedal, when you get to the end, it kind of locks up and the tires slide, so it doesn't actually lift it up. So I almost always will use my hand at the same time. So that's what we have, one on each side to put each individual plow down. Now you cannot plow with both plows down. I say you cannot plow. I suppose you could, but it's, you know, some people might think, well, this would make a great ditch plow because you could plow a ditch with it. Well, that's not true because they're like 10 inches apart from plow to plow. So if you tried to plow a ditch with it, you'd have you just have two furrows. You would not have a ditch. So there's one other lever here, and this lever actually turns the tongue back and forth, because as you're plowing, when I'm plowing using my left hand plow, I have to have the tongue swung off to the left up front. So I pull this lever back here. When I'm using both plows, every single time I turn around, I have to swap this back and forth. Forward, and back. And it's actually quite a bit of work in the process of doing that, and you gotta remember to do it. So it's really nice if I'm plowing on a small piece like this to just go round and round, because I can just set this and leave it the whole time. I don't have to touch this lever again.
Yeah, I tried this last year. Jim makes it look easy. It is not easy. Not easy.
Got that. G, 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 G over there, G, 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 G. How about? Bye. And G, G, cap stop, cap stop. Careful. Oh. When we get to this last little bit down the center, this is always the hardest part to plow. I don't consider myself a real plowman. Some of them old timers were just real plowmen, and a lot of the real plowmen would have actually used a walking plow to finish up, and in their minds it's a lot easier, and I can understand why also, but I usually just finish up with this because I'm not as particular as some people are when it comes to plowing, although I am pretty particular. I like to have a nice plowing job. But anyways, this is difficult because what happens is you're plowing along and Bill will stay in his furrow, but Baron is going to kind of, I mean, Ken will stay in his furrow, but Baron is kind of shoved back and forth between the furrow and not the furrow. So it's a little tricky. And then sometimes if you're not careful, this wheel will actually jump out of the furrow and then you mess up your plowing job. So like I said, I'm not that particular, but I'm somewhat particular, and it's very frustrating to me when I mess up, but we'll see if I do or not. Cup step. Careful. And G. Cheek. 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 Oh. How about? Cheek. 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 Oh. So here we are on our last pass. I say last pass. Oh. Grab their bridles caught there.
It's like hitched.
This is a somewhat first, I'll tell you that. Ooh. Oh, goodness. Look at that, folks. Oh, this is one thing I've never seen. And this was from his halter. His buckle, he swung his head over onto Ken. I guess I get this bridle back on Ken, but he swung his halter over there, and look, that tiny little spot right there, that buckle of the halter slipped in there.
Well, isn't that what happens a lot, though? It's a weird, strange thing.
That was very weird. A lot of people complain about snaps, and I use these nice snaps in the end of my lines. A lot of people complain about snaps because they get caught, and it is possible. Sometimes they go down here and get caught on something, but I've hardly ever had that happen. And of course, I've never had this happen like this. But there again, it never would have happened if Baron was tending his business and not swinging over to Ken.
After watching the video, I realized it was actually Ken's fault, not Baron's. He was the one that put his head down there and got hooked up.
Who would have ever thought that right here, the opposite horse would get his halter snapped into there.
That's crazy.
It is crazy.
That was weird. And I hate when snaps, they're so hard to get out.
I know, I couldn't get it out either. That's why I knew Ken would stand, so I said, I'm just gonna pull the bridle off. And it worked out fine. So anyways, this is our last pass down through here, at least for a portion of this furrow. So what I'm going to do, generally when I'm plowing, this handle will be right here, okay? So I'm just going to make a very shallow pass through here. So just kind of cuff the top off what's left to be plowed. Because if I don't do that, it tends to go extra deep in the center, and then we have a deeper dead furrow. So by doing this, if things go well, it's just going to kind of cuff the top of that off, and it won't be quite so deep. And then when I harrow it, it'll level out easier. I cap a step. Cap step. Oh. So I'm very pleased with that. If you look on this side over here, when I was plowing up my last time, my opposite tire dropped into the opposite furrow, and when it did that, it allowed the plow that was plowing to dig in a lot deeper. You'll see that's a deeper furrow there, and I got halfway through that last time, and I lifted the plow up so it wouldn't be digging so deep. So now I'm just gonna turn it out. I'm just gonna cuff this last little bit, and then we'll be done. G. Oh. Ha, 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 ha. Ha. Oh. Okay. I like that. I'm good with that.
You can work that all together and it'll be great.
Yep.
Oh, it makes so much difference when you get this done.
Okay. Let's go put them away, and we'll have to show everybody our new short-term edition.
Yeah, I told them about it.
Okay, we wanted to show you a little short-term visitor we have.
This is Meg, and she is from Windy Ridge Stables from Glenville, New York. She's up to visit Baron.
We bought her for $1. No, just kidding.
No, she's here to hopefully get bred by Baron. And she'll be here for a little while. Hopefully Baron is a little tired, so he'll behave.
Yeah. So you may be seeing her a little bit over the next few days. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. We surely won't be showing the breeding process because this is a family program.
And they need their privacy.
So anyways, we got our garden done. We got a new horse for a few days. I hope you guys are having a great day and enjoying this nice weather we've been having. Maybe by the time this video comes out, it won't be as nice, but it surely has been a nice stretch. We've very much been enjoying it. This horse is just a nuisance right now, I can tell that. They spoiled him too much down there.
She's very nice.
She is.
Have a great day.
We'll see ya.
See you later.